That was enormous for Matthew Stafford's career. I grew up in Michigan, so I'm a massive Lions fan, but also a massive Matthew Stafford fan. And before his fourth career playoff game, being 0-3 heading into this game, I was terrified. Not only was it so big just because it's the NFL playoffs in general, but it felt like going into this game, his entire career and reputation was on the line. And so in today's video, I want to explain why this was so huge for his career. And then we're going to take a look at some film with his matchup against the Bucs, what he should do, what he should try and avoid if they're going to try and pull off this win. So Matthew Stafford spent 12 years in Detroit, and even though he made the playoffs 3 times, he always had the excuse of being on the Lions after a loss. He didn't always play his best in the playoffs, but he also regularly had the entire team, the city on his back, trying to do his best hero ball every single time, trying to make a miraculous comeback. But now everything is different. Now Matthew Stafford's on the Los Angeles Rams. Sean McVay traded 2 first-round picks, a 3rd round, and Goff, who just took them to a Super Bowl a few years ago for him. They traded for Von Miller this year, Jalen Ramsey earlier. The Rams said, fuck our future, we're going to go balls to the walls to win a championship this year. And if we don't, we have about 2 more years before we're going to suck again. I actually really respect this approach opposed to teams that end up being really close, but not quite getting there, but eventually end up being in the same bad situation. But this only added to Stafford's pressure he had for this game against the Cardinals. And man, did he deliver. And before you just go rush to the comments saying, oh, Kyler stunk it up, he got carried by the defense, he's a front runner, or anything like that, y'all need to hear me out. This could have gone a lot of ways. Stafford had been a turnover machine the past few games, but this game was very, very well managed. A pick 6, a fumble, an interception of any sort could have gave the Cardinals life. But every time the Cardinals punted the ball away, the Rams would march it right down the field and wouldn't give them any momentum. And I'll go as far as even to say, even if Stafford played amazing in this game and they lost, this would be a horrible for Stafford's career and just playing the narrative of Stat Padford. All the 5,000-yard seasons with the Lions, but nothing to really show for it. But he always had this excuse with the Lions, never really had a shot, so I'm so glad that he pulled this off. Cam Akers looked amazing in his return. The passing game, the special teams looked near flawless, and now we're going to talk about their very interesting matchup with the Bucs. So they're going into Tampa with a few things to pay attention to. The Bucs are out Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown. Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen both went down in the Eagles game, and so I think they're both going to be back, but definitely not full strength, and they're already light in the running back and in the secondary. But it's Tom Brady, and unless Stafford plays absolutely terrible, there's really no shame losing to Tom Brady in the playoffs. However, with the way this Rams team looked against the Cardinals in all 3 phases the other day, I give them a fantastic chance if Stafford plays the way I know he can, and going as far as saying I think they should be favorites going into this game, and I'll tell you why. Now, I don't think this game is going to be as big as for his legacy as getting over the hump of 186 starts without a playoff win, but it looks like the Rams are in a fantastic chance to be playing the Packers or Niners to make the Super Bowl if they can go out and play like that. So let's talk about what they can go out and do it, what they need to do, and what they need to avoid playing the Bucs. It's not going to be the longest film analysis, but all the points are super critical, so let's get into it. And the first play we're going to look at doesn't even have to do with Stafford. It's going to have to do with the Rams defense, but this is a massive reason why I have a Rams favorites in this game, and it has to do a lot with this guy right here. Number 99, Aaron Donald. Ever heard of him? But this is huge because in this Week 3 matchup with the Bucs and the Rams, they passed the ball a ton. Tom Brady passed the ball 55 times, and believe it or not, Tom Brady was the leading rusher. And so now a lot of people love to have these fantastic edge rushers out on the side to come and rush the quarterback so they can't escape the pocket like Kyler Murray, how they were able to contain him. But Tom Brady has no problem with this. He's going to step up right in the middle. But this guy is going to be the problem, especially Ryan Jensen, their center, coming down with, I believe, a low ankle sprain. Look at what Aaron Donald's able to do in the middle. This is how you make Tom Brady uncomfortable. Have pressure right in the middle, so you have to force him outside. This is what you want. You don't want this with a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers because they're going to torch you with their legs running up and down the field. Getting pressure up the middle, though, making Tom Brady run the ball, force the ball out of the pocket is going to be huge for this Rams team. So again, Aaron Donald and Von Miller. They didn't have Von Miller in this game. He's looked about as healthy as he had all season, his last few games. So look for Aaron Donald and Von Miller to play a crucial role in this Rams defense. But let's get into Stafford now. So this is a play they ran in week 3 against the Bucs, and I absolutely love this because we need to see a lot more of this. Matthew Stafford was in shotgun a ton in this game, but we saw a lot more in the Cardinals game. He was under center a lot more, and I think they have to find a nice balance of this in this game. Because in the Cardinals game, he only threw it 17 times, had 202 yards and 2 touchdowns, but in this game, he threw it 38 times, had 343 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think he's going to have to find somewhere in the middle because his Bucs defense is really good at stopping the run, but this is a play action look that I thought was brilliant. And what play action does under center, so one, being under center, there's a more threat of the run, but now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play a ton of zone. And going through their old film in this game, they've ran zone almost every single play. So in zone, the corner's eyes are going to be in the backfield so they can see what's going on. But what play action allows them to do, if Matthew Stafford was going to drop straight back, the cornerback could immediately get depth. And Cooper Kupp on this route is going to attack the safety, get right on his heels, and break it off for a corner route. Now this doesn't work, and the window gets much bigger with this play action looks. And if Sean McVay can do this, get back to the 2017, 2018 Rams just with a much improved quarterback. Look at the corner right now. He's not getting any depth right now. He has his eyes in the backfield, takes a step up, and now he can start to get his depth. Cooper Kupp is working on that corner route, and now look at the window. If the corner was getting depth immediately, if there wasn't this play action, this window isn't nearly as big. And I think this is going to be a crucial part of what the Rams need to do, especially when they just put on the running performance that they did against the Cardinals. The Bucs are going to see this, and this is going to open up a lot more, and Stafford just needs to make these throws. And like I said, the Rams didn't even have Odell in this. Deshaun Jackson was actually the receiver that went off in this game, but now they have Odell. But what the Bucs are going to do, they're going to run a ton of zones, so they know they're not going to beat Cooper Kupp man-on-man. They're not going to beat Odell man-on-man or Tyler Higbee or guys like Van Jefferson. But what they're going to do is they're going to make you throw into incredibly tight windows. They're going to get a ton of hands around the ball waiting for you to make a mistake. So Stafford needs to be able to make throws like this, right over the middle, in between 3 people. He cannot be inaccurate with this. We're going to see a few times earlier in this game when he was inaccurate with his passes and what it can do. Again, if you look at Cooper Kupp in the slot on the bottom of your screen, he's the middle receiver. The Bucs are just going to drop into the zone. Matthew Stafford is quick. He's decisive. He's lasering in there, and it's still a very tight window. He's going to need to make these accurate, quick decisions with anticipation all day if he wants to have success against the Bucs. He cannot have any interceptions and give Tom Brady more chances in the playoffs. And this is just a beautifully drawn play to attack Tampa Bay's zone defense. So they're going to run a flood concept, which normally looks like this. You have a streak, you have a flag, and then you have a flat concept right here. But what they do is a variation. This is not the first read because he's going to take an inside release, try and take both of these defenders, which he does a really good job of doing. And now Cooper Kupp's going to be on this corner, and this running back or this wide receiver is going to do a dig on the inside. And now we have Jake Funk coming out in the flats, and then we have like a little zag route right here. So there's clear progressions, but the main objective is attacking Tampa's zone coverage, and they do a great job by taking the top off the safety, making the corner and the safety guard him, making these windows open up with Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford has the arm to make this throw over and over and over again, but again, look at the protection on this. The protection was so clean. If he gets a clean pocket like this, he's going to be able to deliver strikes all day. Now, on the flip side of things, this is absolutely what cannot happen. We have Cooper Kupp right here. He's going to have a post route in the middle of this, which is weird because we have a middle of the field closed safety right now. So a post really isn't going to work. So that's why they're going to cut it a little bit narrow, trying to get behind the linebackers and before the safety. But look at this. This is what absolutely cannot happen. And this is where Matthew Stafford absolutely got away with murder on this play because Cooper Kupp has a great release. The safety floats over the top. Stafford reads this, but this throw is high. You cannot throw high over the middle of the field. Now, look what happens. Cooper Kupp probably can make this catch right now, but it's going to get tipped up right into Jamel Dean's hand. Stafford gets away with murder. He drops it, but that cannot happen. You cannot make these throws over the middle of the field and be high. This is why you have to be incredibly accurate because Tampa's counting on these. They're counting on you to be inaccurate. They're counting on tipped passes for interceptions, and this is what they're going to target the Rams all day. And this also can't happen. This was a beautifully designed play. So right now we have Deshaun Jackson. He's just going to go do his thing, take the top off the defense. But what the safety is reading, he's reading inside out. So he sees Cooper Kupp attack 15 yards upfield. So he's reading Cooper Kupp. He's like vertical, vertical, vertical. But then Cooper Kupp breaks it 15 yards on an out route. The safety sees this to the last second and isn't able to get over the top of Deshaun Jackson. So watch this full speed. Look what happens. So the safety's reading it, seeing Cooper Kupp. And as soon as he makes the outbreaking breaking route right here. He's like, oh crap, Deshaun Jackson's trying to get over the top. He's late on this. Stafford, look, he has a clean pocket. Nobody around him. He's going to be able to step into this throw, and he just blatantly underthrows it. Deshaun Jackson has to come back for it. It's an incomplete pass. Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, you have to have these. If that's Odell Beckham Jr., if that's Van Jefferson, that needs to be a touchdown. They're not going to give you that every single time. We've seen Jamel Dean being able to get deep. Jalen Hurts was just missing on these passes. But again, Stafford has to be accurate over the middle. He has to throw with anticipation, and he cannot miss these game-breaking plays that are beautifully schemed up by Sean McVay. So in the end of the day, for the first part of the video, this was an absolute massive win for Stafford. His whole career, I think, was resting on the hands of this Rams-Cardinals game. He came out, he performed, he did his thing, could not be happier. But now going into Tampa Bay, I actually have them as favorites. I really love their matchup. Like I mentioned earlier, Aaron Donald in the middle, causing Tom Brady to step out of the pocket, scramble, just causing havoc, especially with Ryan Jensen and Tristan Wirfs being on one leg when they're going to go out there. I love their matchup. I think they're going to have to find some sort of sweet spot between what Stafford did with the Cardinals, kind of more of a game manager, had to make a few throws, than opposed to what he did against the Bucs in the first game where he threw it over almost 40 times. I think he's going to find a really sweet spot around like 30 throws, 28, 30 throws. Going to have to make some huge plays. Cannot turn the ball over. I can't emphasize that enough. Cannot turn the ball over. But me, I have the Rams in this game, even though it's really hard to pick against Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. I think Stafford is ready. I love this matchup, but I want to know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think about Matthew Stafford and their matchup against the Bucs, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the channel, and as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace!